What's up, everybody? This past week was Car Week, and as usual, a bunch of stuff got revealed at Car Week's main weekend. So today we're going to go over everything that was revealed, and we're going to rank them based off of what I prefer, my favorite to least favorite. But a lot of things, some will be quick, some we'll probably talk about for a long time. This might be a long video, so if you stick through the whole thing, I really appreciate it, but let's get started. So at number 21, we have the Acura Nexera Vision Concept. It's not really exciting. That's why it's number 21. I don't think many people get excited by Acura these days, but it's just to introduce a new design era, their new lighting signature, which of course means the type of, the shape of lighting that will be on all of their cars. And it's going to be beginning with the RDX Hybrid in the coming year, so we don't even know when this is coming. Super unexcited. At number 20, we have the Lucid Gravity GTS. The Lucid Gravity is their minivan looking SUV, if you don't know, but this is going to come with 1,070 horsepower, which they had in their limited edition Dream Launch Edition. It's going to have rear wheel steering and 3-chamber air suspension that lowers the vehicle at speed. Not that exciting. I do think that Lucid, in my opinion, at least from a design standpoint, is the best looking EV company. And they are exciting, but they're also unreliable. And the SUV they have does look like a minivan, even though I actually like the way it looks. It's not a very appealing product, so not really a cool or important or exciting reveal. Now we're getting into a run of resto mods, which have blown up way too much in the last couple years, in my opinion, and I've really gotten sick with them. Starting off with a Singer and Louis Vuitton collaboration. The first one is a saffron-colored carbon fiber coupe, which I think is a good start, but then you throw in the cobalt blue accents inside and out, and I think it's ugly. It's interesting they dyed the tires, which I think is kind of cool, but they dyed them this like dark cobalt blue. It's got a cool vintage roof rack on it. It's got a beautiful leather interior. I will say the leather in the car is beautiful, but I don't like the blue accents. And it has this weird removable clock timepiece thing, really odd. And then they also made a white carbon fiber convertible with this soft top that you like snap on, I guess. Wood trim, including on the whale tail in the back, and lots of gorgeous leather and wood inside the car. Then at number 18, we have the Gunther Werks GXR Evo. It's based off of the 993 like Gunther Werks usually does. It has all sorts of carbon fiber on the body. All the panels have been replaced, including a bunch of aero and wing. The rear window has been replaced with a carbon fiber panel with an extra aero like fin on it. It's got a 4-liter flat 6 with 455 horsepower. A modified 6-speed manual transmission from the 993. It's been straight piped. The suspension's been changed to a double wishbone suspension with 3-way adjustable remote reservoir rear dampers. It's got pneumatic jacks because it's supposed to be a track car that you can also drive on the street. It's got a helmet cooling system for the track, a fire suppression system, carbon Kevlar race seats, a 6-point harness, which is optional, an 8-point cage, and if you buy it, it comes with a custom racing simulator. It's just another one of many resto mods that I'm not too excited over. At number 17, we have another resto mod. It's the Roof Era. I don't know. I'll put it on the bottom. It's carbon fiber monocoque. It's 3.6-liter twin turbo Boxer 6. It's got 650 horsepower, 664 pound-feet of torque. It's all-wheel drive. It's got a 7-speed manual. It's just another roof car. I'm not that excited by roof cars, but I like the look and the regular car-ness of it over the Gunther Werks, which if you're going to drive on the track, Gunther Werks actually shoots way higher on my ranking, but just in general, the roof, in my opinion, just the classic look is better. Then we have the Accentra V12 Roadster, which is based off of the Diablo Roadster. They did a Accentra V12 prior that was based off of the regular Diablo. But it's got 5.7-liter V12. It's got 550 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque. Carbon fiber reinforced chassis, all new body. It's just another resto mod, this time on a Diablo, which is as high on this list as it is because I love the Diablo. I just love the way they look. Diablo is one of my favorite old school Lamborghinis, maybe even over the Countach. Then at number 15, we have the Mark Philip Gambala Marison GR, not to be confused with his father's company, Gambala. This is his own thing. In 2021, they unveiled the 959 Tribute car. This, while looking very similar, is more street-focused. It's based on the 992 Turbo S. It's got a roof-modified flat 6 engine making 830 horsepower, 694 pound-feet of torque. you will be able to option, well, they're all sold, but the people that bought them will be able to option up to 909 horsepower with a kit. It's got bespoke suspension with double wishbones and KW active dampers. This thing's a monster. I love the way it looks because the 959 is one of my favorite Porsches of all time, one of my favorite looking cars of the era. So this thing's cool, but it's not super cool, especially because only the rich of the rich and a very small number of people will ever even see one in public or in private. Moving on to number 14 is the Cadillac V1. Now this is just a concept, but it's essentially like the Ferrari FXX program where it's race cars. I guess I shouldn't say that because Ferrari doesn't let you possess them. This one you'd be able to possess if they decide to pursue selling these. But it's a track-focused race car based off of their Cadillac V Series R race car. It's got a 5.5-liter V8 hybrid from the race car. It's got 830 horsepower. The suspension is shared with the race car. It has a crazy race car interior because, of course, if you bought this, this would be to race in. And it looks pretty much the exact same as the V Series R. I think it'd be really cool to see Cadillac go in this direction and sell these to customers. I don't think they will. I just don't think there is the appetite for that kind of spend, even though you will get money back, obviously, at Cadillac, at General Motors, considering Cadillac really only sells the Escalade, some EVs, and the CT5 and CT4. They don't have a huge portfolio of enthusiasty cars, really, so I just don't see that happening, but still a really cool concept. Moving on to number 13 is the Brabus Bodo Cabriolet. Earlier this year, or late last year, whatever, we saw the unveiling of the Brabus Bodo, which is a tribute to the namesake of Brabus, Bodo, the father of the guy who's now running Brabus. This is just the convertible version. It's based off of the Aston Martin Vanquish and has 1,000 horsepower, 885 pound-feet of torque. Beautiful car, but to be honest, it doesn't do that much for me. Then moving on to number 12, we have the Bugatti Destrier, however you say it, put it right here. It's part of the Bugatti's Solitaire program, which is their one-off program where if you have just way too much money that you don't even know what to do with it and you want to get a one-off Bugatti, you can. Typically, the Bugatti Solitaire program bases cars off of whatever their current road-going car is, but this is actually based off the Bolide track car. It's got the same turbo W16. It's going to make 1,578 horsepower. Bugatti hasn't said whether or not it's road legal, and I don't know that we'll necessarily find out because this is a one-off customer car, not even a one-off experiment they did. This is somebody's car. It's an absolutely gorgeous car with an absolutely gorgeous interior and obviously insane performance. And you know, if I was a tens or hundreds of billionaire, maybe I would do something like this because it's an absolutely gorgeous car. And a lot of one-offs and really expensive cars don't do it for me, but this thing is absolutely gorgeous. So moving on to number 11 is another one-off car. And I don't know that I necessarily put this ahead of the Bugatti we just talked about. Maybe it's about even, but I think it's more of a regular beautiful car. You could really swap these places, but it's the Ferrari CZ26, which honestly, you know what, put this wherever you want on the list. It's based off the SF90, which has not been a very loved car. I'm going to have a video talking about what's going on with Ferrari and their reputation in a couple days coming out. The SF90 is definitely part of that. And so, you know, I think this car is actually a gorgeous looking car with a cool interior. And if it wasn't based off the SF90, it might move up a couple spots. But other than some newer bodywork, the only difference between this and an SF90 is a new cooling and airflow management system with the front end design, and that's really it. Moving on to number 10 is the Revuelto SV from Lamborghini. This would be higher on the list maybe, but the V12 remains completely unchanged. The power is changed by a larger battery pack that can put out more power to the electric motors in the front, giving it a 490 horsepower increase, so not a whole lot, especially when you're already over 1,000 horsepower. It's got more aggressive aero, and instead of having a wing that comes up, it's got a fixed wing, and it's got 80% more downforce. It's got improved brakes with different material in the carbon ceramics. It's like longer fibers that help dissipate heat, so you can brake better for longer. But the Revuelto SV, I think, would be cooler if it had more change to the V12. But just changing the hybrid system to make more power isn't that interesting, to be honest. Moving on to number 9 is the Spyker C8 Prelator. I don't know how to say it. It's right here. XXV Coupe. Now, I think this spec is egregious, especially on the outside. But overall, I think Spyker makes gorgeous cars. with an absolutely gorgeous interior. It's got the classic Spyker manual transmission where you can see the linkage going back into the car. I mean, if Spyker does one thing great, it is interior and exterior design. It's a beautiful car inside and out, even though the spec I think is atrocious, but the interior is especially beautiful with all sorts of beautiful switchgear and leather and that manual transmission linkage. It doesn't have screens. It does have a heads-up display, but other than that, there's no kinds of screens or modern tech. You can connect your phone to listen to your music, but that's about it. It's a driver's car. It comes with a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 sourced from Audi with a 6-speed manual transmission. The car is completely hand-built, and it takes 2,100 hours to build the Prelator XXV Coupe. An absolutely gorgeous car that might be more art than it is car. And I mean, just if I ever see one in person, I will freak out. Then at number 8, it's another one-off car. It's another Porsche, which I'm getting tired of talking about Porsches, although there's another one on this list. And that is the Porsche, and I'm going to butcher this, Flachbau, I can't speak German, RS. It's based off of a 991.2 GT2 RS. It's a one-off customer car, like I said, but it's inspired by the 930 or the 935 flat nose, specifically the 935/78 Moby Dick car. It's such a cool looking car. This is as high as it is on the list, even though it's a rebodied Porsche and it's a one-off car, which I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan of. But I absolutely love the 935 flat nose and slant nose cars. I saw a slant nose once and I freaked out. I still think about it from time to time. One of my favorite Porsche designs ever, and whether it's a kit on newer cars, the original cars, whatever, I love the way they look, and so I had to do this high on the list. The front fenders are bespoke to this car, as well as the headlights, so there's a lot of bespokeness to this car, and it's just a really cool looking car, plus the GT2 RS is an absolute monster on track. So this, by other logic of other cars, should be ranked worse, but I have it as high on the list because of what it's a tribute to. Then number 7 is the Zinger 21C Spyder. This is just the convertible version of the 21C. If you're not familiar with the 21C, it has an AI optimized, which I can't stand, but 3D printed chassis, which looks insane. It looks like bones of a human or an animal, which I think is really cool. It's got a 2.9 liter V12 hybrid powertrain with 1,250 horsepower, which is unchanged from the original 21C. The 21C is an absolute insane car with like fighter jet type seating. I think they're really cool, and they're made in America. It's an American car, which helps it on the list, but absolutely insane. And a Spyder version of this car, I can't even imagine what that's like driving, especially with that 2.9 liter V12 behind you screaming. Really cool car, and I like that they did it in a brown spec. It definitely helped it on this list. So at number 6 is the most regular car on this list. It's the 911 Carrera S with the MT package. It's a manual Carrera S. The Porsche put out the 911 Carrera T like last year. I have this high on the list because I like brands still doing manual transmissions. The manual transmission just keeps dying more and more, although number 1 on this list does excitingly have a manual transmission. But it's got a 6-speed manual. It's the first ever Carrera with center lock wheels. It's got a titanium exhaust, a sport design front fascia to differentiate it from regular Carrera S's. It's got the PASM sport suspension, rear wheel steering, and sport chrono package all as standard. So we're getting another manual sports car that has all sorts of great stuff as standard. And just brands, if we had more Ferrari manuals or Lamborghini manuals, whatever, they would all be high on lists like this. And even though it's just a 911 Carrera S, just the fact that it's coming with a manual in the 2020s makes it really special and high on this list. So at number 5, we actually have the Aston Martin Veyron, which, like the Bodo, is a rebodied Vanquish, but it's more than that. Its 5.5 liter V12 is turned up to 838 horsepower and 737 pound-feet of torque. It's got all sorts of different aero bits on it. It's got these cool fins down the side for aero, a different like ducktail spoiler in the back. It does kind of look like an Aston Martin Mustang, but I just absolutely love the way it looks. The paint they debuted it in is really cool looking. They were able to shed 250 pounds by using lighter materials for the bodywork, lighter materials in the suspension, titanium bolts. That's how far they went to reduce weight, so I love all of that. They to deal with the power and make it more of an engaging driving experience, if you go into Sport or Sport Plus, there's less pedal travel so you can access the increased power sooner. But if you're in track mode, the computer changes to require longer pedal travel and more pedal input to access the power, so you can have more precise throttle input as you're on the track, which I think is really cool. And then on top of that, they have this insane looking 4 exhaust system, 4 exit exhaust in the back, which is 50% louder than the Vanquish. And like the Valkyrie, they do a thing where the top 2 are like valved and the bottom 2 are open to make this crazy loud exhaust that's 50% louder than the Vanquish it's based on. Really cool looking car. I'm not a big Aston Martin fan, but I love the way this one looks, and I love all they put into to make it really track focused, and it's completely street legal, of course limited like pretty much everything on this list. Number 4, we have the Koenigsegg CC GT1. Now, Koenigsegg is as high as it is on this list because although I don't always know the Koenigseggs one-to-one because I don't like study Koenigsegg, the ethos of Koenigsegg and Christian von Koenigsegg are some of my favorite, and he's one of my favorite in the industry, and so I have a lot of love for the company of Koenigsegg. Even if I don't pay that much attention to the cars, the Gemera, however you say it, is my dream daily driver if I was ultimately rich. But the CC GT1 is based off of the CC GT1 race car project that was ultimately scrapped in the 2000s that Christian von Koenigsegg wanted to pursue. It's based on the current model of the CC850 with a 5-liter V8 twin turbo with 1,280 horsepower that goes all the way up to 1,600 if you put E85 into it. And there's a couple different ways to option the transmission if you were one of the people who have already gotten the allocations that are sold out, of course. It's really an automatic based like the Koenigsegg puts in the CC850, but you can get it with a simulated or shift-by-wire sequential shifter or a 6-speed gated manual, which is really cool. These are really cool looking cars. They're beautiful cars, and they have a beautiful interior. They're obviously ultra limited. And like I said, I just love the ethos around Koenigsegg, and I love Christian von Koenigsegg, so that's why it's as high as it is on the list. And I love him being able to pay tribute to a passion project he had that he didn't get to see all the way through, so that's all really cool. Of course, like I said, super limited, but really cool. Then at number 3 is somewhat of a controversial car in its opinion, and that's the Gordon Murray Special Vehicles or GM SV S1. Last year they had the, at Quail, they unveiled the, oh my God, what is it? The LM1, which was a tribute to the F1 LM. This is obviously a tribute to the road-going McLaren F1, which is one of the most beautiful cars of all time, in my opinion. It's one of everyone's favorite super or hyper cars. It was the first like real hyper car. And it was an absolutely gorgeous car. Gordon Murray, of course, designed that. And the controversy comes in, they had the LM tribute last year, and you have the T50 and the T30, which are pretty much the same shape as a McLaren F1, and Gordon Murray did design the F1. It's what he's most famous for. It's his most famous design. And so people are tired of that shape. But I don't ever tire of the F1. I've seen one 3 times in person, and I'm literally, the first time I saw it, I was with my fiance at the Fountain Concours in Fountain Hills, Arizona, and I literally just stopped mid-sentence and I went silent for like 5 minutes just looking at it. It has the same effect on me every time I see it, and so a tribute to one by the guy who designed it is never a bad thing in my mind. It's got the same V12 from Cosworth, that the 4.2-liter V12 that was in the LM car that revs to 12,100 RPM, which is insane. It's got 680 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque. It's a really cool car. It's a beautiful car. It's got a cool interior. I absolutely love it. And then at number 2, we have the Land Rover Defender Dakar. I just got rid of my Pajero Evo. I have a soft spot for Dakar rally SUVs. And Land Rover Defender making a Dakar trim based off of the Land Rover Octa, which I had my coolest SUVs list not that long ago. If you want to check that, I'll link that down below. The Octa was an honorable mention because there's been so many cool SUVs throughout history, but for coolest SUVs on sale, the Defender Octa might be number 1. So to do a special Dakar trim based on the Octa is already really cool. Plus, this is a somewhat attainable car, obviously way too expensive for the average person, but compared to like everything else on the list, other than the Carrera S MAT, if you're in the US, it's pretty attainable relative to expensive cars. Like I said, it commemorates their class victory at Dakar 26 this year. It still has the same 4.4-liter V8 with twin turbos, from the Octa that puts out 626 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. They also added 35-inch all-terrain tires on brand new 20-inch forged wheels specifically for the Defender Dakar. They changed the suspension to coil springs with motorsport-style Bilstein dampers. They added a new dune mode, a gravel mode, obviously for sand and gravel, and then they added a flight drive mode, which changes the suspension for jumps. So they made it so you can jump like you do occasionally in, I don't know, like you do in Dakar. So now you can drive on dunes like Dakar, gravel like Dakar, and you can do jumps like in Dakar. Plus, they took the rear spare tire off of the barn door on the back and put it inside just to make it more like Dakar spec. They changed it to 2+2 seating, and they have front bucket seats now and an optional 4-point harness for the front seats, which is really cool. So this thing is like Dakar off-road, dune running ready from the factory with a lot of power. It's really awesome. And if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd be trying to get a Defender Dakar just to have one because I think it is so cool. But at number one, I can't ignore the McLaren MCL 6GT. This is number one for a couple different reasons, but what it is it's based off of Bruce McLaren's M6 GT road concept car in 1969, which was based off of the M6A Can-Am car. That was going to be the road-going prototype version, which never actually saw production. This is the modern interpretation of that. That was actually powered with a Chevy small block V8. This one does have a V8, but it's also rear-wheel drive. But what made it, one of the reasons it's number one on this list is it has a real 6-speed manual. You had Ferrari with the Dodici Cilindri make a manual, but it's just a shift-by-wire on the dual clutch. You have Koenigsegg's, I think it's the Lightspeed transmission, which has a manual, but it once again is a shift-by-wire, not real manual. McLaren, they haven't put out power numbers, but obviously being a V8 limited car, it's going to have a lot of power coming out of that V8, and it will be naturally aspirated, so it won't be insane power, but it'll probably be a high-powered, naturally aspirated V8, and it's going to have rear-wheel drive and a 6-speed manual. And on top of that, it really looks like a modern take on a 60s supercar design, and it looks nothing else like the rest of the McLaren portfolio. I think it looks amazing. I did see somebody point out on Twitter the rear taillights look like USB-C ports, which they do, and now I can't unsee it. So I don't love the rear, but I love the silhouette of the car. I love the design overall. It goes up there, not with the F1, but it's probably right below the F1 for my favorite McLaren designs overall. I think it is a gorgeous, gorgeous car. And to have a real 6-speed manual in Ferrari and Koenigsegg, now Koenigsegg has so much power, I kind of get it, and the Dodici Cilindri does have a lot of power. But to put out a real 6-speed manual when companies are starting to do shift-by-wire 6-speed manuals or 7-speed manuals, this was so awesome. I had to put it number one on the list. Plus, I love that Bruce McLaren's dream is being realized. So, absolutely had to put this number one on my list. I absolutely love it. It is so cool. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, what your favorite reveals from Quail are. Did I get them right or wrong in my ranking? Let me know in the comments down below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you like car content and you want to see mine first. I really appreciate it. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.